All right, let's bring in now David Tafuri. He's a former State Department official. David, thank you so much for your time. First question, would you feel safe as an American being stuck with this plane in Russia?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah, thank you. Thank you there, David. Yeah, would you
Sorry
feel
about that.
safe? Would you feel safe if you were there in Russia?
Look, the passengers did not expect to be landing in Russia. And whether they feel safe or not probably depends a lot about their relationship to Russia. If they've never been to Russia, they've not been critical of Russia, they're not on any sanctions list in Russia, they ought to be safe. Russia isn't going to take any provocations against Americans for no reason. But of course, we do know that Russia does enjoy getting leverage over the United States. We sort of saw that with Brittany Griner, who allegedly committed a crime in Russia, but then they used that to hold her and to get leverage over the United States. And that would be worrisome for a passenger, especially if they were someone who worked for the U.S. government, they were part of the U.S. military, or they had some history in Russia that caused Russia to have them on a list of some sort. But I expect all of these passengers will get back safely to San Francisco eventually, but right now it's probably causing them some anxiety.
Well, David, as you say that, Russia enjoys trying to hold leverage over the U.S. So how closely is our State Department watching this?
It sounds like they're watching it very closely. They're not going to reveal all of the information, like they haven't said the exact number of passengers who are U.S. citizens on the flight. They haven't named the passengers, but my expectation is they're very worried about this. They don't want another Brittany Griner situation. They want these passengers to have safe passage back to San Francisco. Also notably, India and the Indian Foreign Ministry is also working on this. The Indian consulate is working on this in Russia. They have some responsibility because it is an Air India flight, and Air India does have the right to fly over Russian airspace, a right that Western airline carriers do not have.
All right, so David, we heard from the son who claims to have, his mother was on that flight there. He says he's not getting a lot of information. We can certainly understand why there wouldn't be a lot of information released to the general public, but what about family members of people on that flight? Should they be getting more information?
Of course, they should be getting information. I don't understand why they are not getting information. Perhaps Air India is not able to get more information about the situation because they don't have any personnel in this city in Russia. Another thing that passengers might be worried about is the war with Ukraine. But I would remind everyone that this is in the far east of Russia. And the war in Ukraine, the theater is in the far west of Russia. Ukraine is on Russia's western border. So this is about as far away from the war as you can be in Russia.
Well, a last question for you, David. And as a former State Department official, and the fact that you said it yourself, Russia enjoys trying to get leverage over the U.S., are there real concerns for the safety of these passengers as more time goes by?
I think as more time goes by, especially if there are any passengers that are detained or that for some reason are not allowed to board this new flight, this new airplane that's coming in to pick them up and ferry them out of Russia, then we should be concerned. But we should wait and see. Hopefully all will be able to re-embark on this new airplane and leave Russia.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Former State Department official David Tafuri, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.